okay? The 5 principles to not succeed. This is going to help you out, okay? Principle number 1, to not succeed, don't share RIMAN with other people. Because if you share RIMAN with other people, obviously you're going to succeed. So people right now, what are they looking for? People want to be around positive community of people that truly care about them, right? Become financially free. People want to have time freedom. People are looking for to look good, right? And to look younger and look healthier. People love feeling important and appreciated. And people have fun and they want to enjoy their lives. And people want to learn and grow and become better people and set and accomplish goals. So if you want to, in order for you to not be successful, don't share RIMAN with everybody, okay? Because if you do, that's what people are looking for. People are looking for this RIMAN. They want all these things that RIMAN can offer. So to not succeed, you got to not talk to people about RIMAN. So to not succeed, you don't want to transfer your emotion, right? When you love a product and you transfer it, then you get a customer. You know, and if you get customers, you're going to succeed. So if you want to not succeed, don't transfer your emotion. If you love an opportunity and you transfer that excitement to other people, you're going to get a new partner. And guess what? If you want to not succeed, you got to not do that. And then obviously, if you love making new senior managers and you share that enthusiasm, then your team's going to be motivated. So in order to not succeed, you don't want to do any of these things, okay? Everybody talks about how to succeed, but I'm going to share with you today how not to succeed, okay? Principle number 2, to not succeed. You got to follow the checklist to not succeed, okay? This is how not to become successful in RIMAN checklist, okay? Number 1, the first thing is you don't want to get started. If you get started in RIMAN and you keep working, you're going to end up becoming successful, okay? Some of you guys already got started, so I missed that one. You do not want to get 1,000 SP or 1,500 starter sets and get people started the right way, right? And help them get 10 lifetime customers, because then they're going to make money and then they're going to succeed and then you're going to succeed. So we want to make sure we're not doing that. And if we want to make sure that we don't become successful in RIMAN, okay? You don't want to be you don't want to be coachable and stay excited, right? Because if you get coachable and you stay excited, you're going to succeed in RIMAN, okay? So we want to make sure we're not doing that. Other thing is this: you don't want to make a list, okay? Santa makes the list, right? People that are successful in RIMAN make lists. So if you want to not be successful, don't make a list, okay? And then obviously, don't share RIMAN's product and opportunity with other people, right? When you share the products and the opportunity with everybody, you're going to be successful. So if you want to not succeed, don't share the products, okay? Don't tell everybody about this. Another way not to be successful is don't become a senior manager. That'll help you not be successful, okay? What else will help you not be successful? Okay, don't connect with your brand new people, right? And help them go senior manager. You don't want to help your new people become senior managers, because then you end up becoming successful. So how do you not become successful? Most importantly, don't get trained and promote the trainings, right? If you don't tell people about these trainings, you're going to make sure that you don't become successful, okay? So that'll help you if you want to not succeed. And don't set goals and go after them with everything you got, or you end up becoming successful, okay? So I want to give you some tips. The Grinch wants to give you some tips on how to not succeed. Principle number 2, okay? Obviously, don't go to the Long Beach convention. That'll definitely make you successful. So you definitely don't do that. Bro, if you go to Long Beach, you're going to end up making a lot of money. So if you want to make sure you don't make a lot of money, don't go to Long Beach, okay? So here's some more ways to not succeed, okay? Don't create a team-wide culture, okay? You don't want to do that, okay? I've seen people do that and make a lot of money in RIMAN. You don't want to do that, okay? So if you introduce this business to 10 people from the beginning and start building 10 legs, you're going to be in big trouble if you want to not succeed, because that's going to make you successful for sure, okay? And you want to make sure you understand, if you build a 10-wide culture, you're going to have success. So be very careful. If you want to not succeed in RIMAN, don't go wide and build 10 legs, because you're going to end up making a lot of money. And if your plan's to not make a lot of money, you're going to mess it up, okay? So how to not become successful? This is why you don't want to have that 10. See, when you only create 3 legs instead of 10 legs, right? If you have 10 legs, you create a fear of missing out, so your team gets motivated, right? They see that you have all these teams, and they're like, oh my God, I can do this, okay? I want to make it happen. And what happens is their fear of missing out, because they see you winning. They see you succeeding, and then they get motivated. So you don't want to do that if you want to succeed, okay? If you want to not succeed. And when you create 10 legs, what happens is you're going to create 5 times bigger income, okay? And people say rank is good and wealth is better. Well, that's only if you want to succeed. If you want to not succeed, you don't want to have 10 legs. Now, when you create that 10-wide culture, you're rank advancing 10 times faster. And then everybody's going to see you succeed. Okay. And then what you are as a leader, they're going to have that attitude that says, listen to what I say, but watch more what I do. So when you lead by example, your organization takes off and grows, okay? When you build a 10-wide culture. And then obviously, when you build a 10-wide culture, okay, everybody knows, right? When you build a 10-wide culture, your leaders become stronger because now you're teaching them how to fish, okay? You're teaching them how to fish. And instead of fishing for them, okay? So let's go over this a little bit better, okay? The fourth principle to not succeed is do not game plan, okay, with your new planners. Because if you game plan with your new planners, you're going to succeed. So you want to make sure not to do that, okay? You know, what everybody knows is to not succeed, you do not want to become a senior manager factory, okay? Because if you become a senior manager factory, your organization is going to grow like wildfire, okay? So you better be careful. If you're trying to not succeed, don't help all your people become senior managers. Because if you help everybody become senior managers, you're going to end up succeeding in RIMAN, okay? That's if that's not what you're trying to do, okay? We all know everybody's either sleeping, they're crawling, they're walking, or they're running. There's 4 people in RIMAN, 4 people. So when you game plan with your new people, what happens is you're going to wake them up and they're going to start crawling. And if they start crawling, they're going to learn how to walk, and then they're going to learn how to run. So don't game plan with your new people, or you're going to make them wake up and start crawling and then start running. Next thing you know, you're going to end up becoming successful, okay? So be careful if you want. Now, here's a big one. To not succeed, you don't want to contact your team, right? You don't want to get in contact with your team. Who's the most important people on your team? Your new people. So when new people come in your organization, there's going to be a blue highlighted number here. You don't want to click that number, because if you click that number, there's going to be a report of people that come up. And you don't want to double click their ID number, because if you double click their ID number, then you're going to come to this page. And if you get to this page, don't click the line of sponsorship, because if you click the line of sponsorship, it's going to tell you who their upline is. And then you reach out to these people and launch them, and now you're in big trouble because you're going to succeed, okay? So you want to make sure, in order to not succeed, basically don't help your new people, because if you do that, you're going to make a lot of money. So here's another thing. You don't want to create a method of operation if you're trying not to succeed, okay? Because when you enroll a new planner, if you immediately get them on a welcome call with a team leader, do a voice text message with your team leader, and then within 24 hours game plan, they're going to, and guess what? They go senior manager, and your organization's growing like wildfire. And if you want to not succeed, you don't want to have a method of operation. You don't want to have a methodology to what you're doing, okay? Because if you create a methodology and get your new people plugged in, you're going to end up making a lot of money. And if some of you maybe want to do that, but if you don't want to make a lot of money, make sure you don't, if you want to make sure you don't make money, don't do that stuff, okay? So to not succeed, this is the last principle. To not succeed, do not take advantage of impending events. We all know impending events drive people, right? The Grinch always said, is it easier to sell Christmas trees in July or December, right? Most people would say, hey, you know what? If I want to succeed, I would sell them in December. But if I want to not succeed, I would sell them in July. So impending events are what drive people to take action. Those are things on the calendar, right? The best example is an impending event is something on a calendar that will get people to take action they normally wouldn't take. So what are the impending events in RIMAN? These are 12 impending events at RIMAN to not take advantage of in order for you to not succeed, okay? Pay period deadline. If you promote pay period deadline, okay, and you do that, you're gonna end up succeeding. So you want to make sure you don't want to do that if you want to not don't want to become a success. Now, promoting the 10,000 SP team leader maintenance, or 30,000 to get your 200 travel points for team leaders, right? You don't want to promote that, right? Because if you do, you're going to end up becoming successful, okay? So another thing is 3 to 5 active customers for your managers and senior managers and higher, right? You want to make sure that you don't have that become an impending event, because if you do, you're going to end up becoming successful, okay? 30 days to upgrade your starter set. You don't want to make sure that you call your new people 30 days in and make sure you let them know, hey, you can upgrade still and get another starter set. Because if you do that, you're going to end up becoming successful, okay? You're going to end up becoming successful. And 3 months to senior manager. In order for you to not succeed, you want to make sure you do not take advantage of impending events, and watch people's 3-month deadline and make sure that you're helping them get to manager or senior manager, okay? Because if you're helping them, your team's going to end up winning, okay? 5 months of team leaders, another impending event, okay? If you're watching that, you're watching the 5 months rolling clock, you're going to end up becoming successful. So if you're trying to not succeed, you don't want to do that, okay? 6 months of director, 8 the monthly promotions. Right now, this month, we have the 25,000 December to Remember promotion. You don't want to take advantage of that if you want to, because if you do, you're going to end up succeeding, right? So if you get a lot of people started between now and they get in before the end of the month, and they get a December start date, and now they're eligible for $25,000 and they start earning that money, you are going to end up becoming successful, Okay. And if you don't want to be successful, you want to make sure that you don't do that. Okay. Now, another thing is the flash promotions, right? Everybody knows on Boxing Day, there might be something happening. There might be another promotion later on in the month. When that promotion drops, you want to make sure that you don't pay attention to it. Because if you do, you're going to end up making a lot of money. Okay. And another thing is obviously unlocking the unilevel. If you're making sure everybody unlocks the unilevel on your team, oh my goodness, your organization is going to be amazing and you're going to end up becoming successful. So if you want to not succeed, you do not want to promote the unilevel. Okay. Now, another thing that you want to make sure, you obviously rank advancing before convention. Okay. Because if you rank advanced before convention, you're going to end up having all this success because you're creating urgency and excitement. So you want to make sure, obviously, if you do not want to succeed, you don't want to obviously rank advanced before convention. So the last one of the 12 is the Costa Rica travel points. You don't want to go to Costa Rica because if you do, you're going to end up becoming a success. You don't want to have your team go to Costa Rica because then you're making a lot of money. So if you want to not succeed, I wanted to share with you how not to succeed. Because everybody talks about what to do to succeed, what to do to succeed. Well, the Grinch wanted to come by before Santa Claus comes out and tells you about how to not succeed in case you want to do that, okay? So these are just some ideas that will help you to not succeed if you want to make sure you don't succeed, okay? The other one is obviously the end of the month. We know that all the volume in RIMAN happens in the last 72 hours of the month. So if somebody becomes a senior manager or a manager before the last 72 hours of the month, what happens? They're going to end up becoming successful, right? And if everybody's becoming successful on your team, they're making a lot of money, you're going to end up succeeding, okay? So be careful if you want to not succeed. Make sure that you don't promote the end of the month push, okay? Because now these people get paid and a lot more money, okay? Now, if you hit it after the end of the month, okay? After the end of the month, now your people aren't going to get paid. Nobody's going to get paid. So you want to make sure you understand to not succeed, do not promote the end of the month push, because if you do, you're going to make a lot of money, okay? And I know that some of you are probably saying, hey, I want to get on a training to find out how not to be successful. And the Grinch delivered it. Now I know what you guys want. You want the big guy. You want the big guy, the toy mogul, okay? Everybody loves him. Biggest success. What an amazing success. Today he's going to talk to you about that, this training here. First one is this, okay? Everybody knows, right? The success laws by Santa Claus, okay? Number one, visualize the results and start with end in mind. That's how I was able to make it happen. You guys realize when you look at people out there that are making it happen in life, Zig Ziglar once said, you don't have to be great to start. I love Zig. He was always on the good list. But you have to start to be great. And when you get started, you visualize the outcome. See, I knew when I started as Santa, I actually got started some time ago. Some of you know, right? I got started as St. Nicholas as a bishop of Myra in Anatolia. But now it's modern day Turkey, right? Everybody likes Turkey on Christmas. Around 270 AD. And I had a reputation for secretly giving out gifts to those in need. That's how Santa got started. 270 AD, I've been at it, okay? But when I started, I said, hey, I got to make it happen. I got to go out there and I got to make it happen. And it's not always easy. It's never going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And it's not a very easy journey. We're going to talk a little bit about what that journey looks like in a second, okay? Take action every day in the direction of your dreams. Every day, you got to go after it. Every day, you got to make a commitment. You know, I love what Anthony Robbins said, right? The path to success is to take massive action. Anthony, he was always, I like to call him Tony. He wanted some crazy gifts as a kid. He wanted always books for me. I'm like, books? I'm Santa Claus. I can get you books, but don't you want to have something cool? And guess what? This guy wanted to just read. But here's what we find out when you look at taking action every day. We have a population of 6 billion people. So my elves, my team that I recruited, I put together this massive team. They're committed, these elves. They have to work in the workshop to make every day. We got to make 5 million presents. 5 million presents. We can't take a day off in order to hit our goal of 6 billion. A lot of you guys, you want to do something great. You got to break it down into a daily goal. And you have to go after it every single day. If we waited till the last day of the month to try to produce 6 billion presents, what are we talking about? It would never be able to happen. So it's the same thing with your business. Everybody on this call say, hey man, I want to hit team leader before the convention. right? I want to hit director by this time. I'm going to become a senior manager by this time. Well, you don't just wait till the last day of that deadline and hit it. You can't make 6 billion presents in one day. You just got to make 5 million every day. It's a pretty big job. But my elves are magical. I'm telling you what, we got a great system up there. You guys got a great system. Now, you want to align yourself. This is what Santa likes to do with people that believe in your dreams. I like what Oprah said. She was sometimes on the good list, sometimes on the naughty list. She's crazy. But she said, hey, surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher. That's what these calls are about that Chris, Cam, and the other guy that talks real fast. Tim, what those guys do, they put this system in place. These trainings they do for you guys is that get you around people that are going to support you, to going to lift you higher. Because I know what those guys want to do. I know what Tim, I think his name's Tim and Chris, what they want to do. They want to help everybody make a lot of money. That's what they want to do. And I know that the Grinch was trying to give you ideas on how to not succeed. Good old Santa is going to tell you how to do it. I got 9 reindeer. You guys know Rudolph, you know Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner. Donner's a little bit more silly than you think he is. And good old Blitzen. But here's what I want to tell you. Rudolph has now become the most popular reindeer. And he was the last recruit that old Santa made. You know, I want to get 10. I was listening to what the Grinch said. He said, you got to go 10 wide. I go, I got 9 reindeers. I better get another one. Got to get another reindeer. Because Grinch said, if I only have 9, I got to get 10 to be successful. He said, not to succeed. I ain't trying to do that. Santa ain't doing that. So I'm going to get another one. But in 1939, I just said, Rudolph, you got what it takes. Rudolph didn't believe in himself. Believe it or not, the other reindeers used to laugh and call him names, in fact. And I just told Rudolph, I said, Rudolph, you got what it takes. I need your help. And he said, you know what, Santa, I'm going to step up. I'm going to get the job done. See, we got to make that attitude. We got to have that attitude that we're going to get the job done. We got to have that Rudolph heart that he had. That he saved Christmas in 1939. It was a dang blizzard that year. Probably the coldest winter I can remember. Now, this is a good one. Leadership is a relay race, not a sprint or a marathon. Oh. And I love what John Wooden said. Good old John Wooden. John said, it's amazing how much can be accomplished if no one cares who gets the credit. No one cares who gets the credit. Credit is, people always want to talk about good credit. Good credit is good, but guess what? Cash is better, right? Having a ton of money, right? So here's what he said is we're not worried about who's going to get credit for the accomplishment. We just want the accomplishment to happen. And I'm telling you what, a lot of you don't know this, but in Russia, I got Babushka there. Santa's grandmotherly figure. She's bringing presents in Russia. Needed some help, so what did I do? Got some recruits. Recruited Babushka. She stepped up, made it happen. A lot of you guys know Babushka, she's helping me deliver gifts in Russia. Just an unbelievable heart she's got. Now in Sweden, everybody knows Gultamintum. This guy's a gnome, and he rides a sleigh, and he does the honors. I think he's a little billy goat. I don't know what he's using to drive his sleigh. But Goldman, this guy has got the heart. When you find somebody that just cares about people, that loves people. And some people look, I said, he's a gnome, man. He can't do anything. I said, you know what? You can't judge the heart of somebody. This guy's got what it takes. Sure enough, Goldman's doing a great job over there for me in Sweden. Now in Syria, I have a wild card. I like to call these wild cards. I got a camel giving his gifts. Okay. And a lot of you know he's one of the 3 wise men's camel. He's actually the smallest one of the caravan, but I'm not going to get into that details today. But this guy, okay, what he's doing for me in Syria, it's amazing. But see, some people wouldn't recruit a camel. They wouldn't believe in a camel. Sometimes you got to believe in people more than they believe in themselves. And that's what I did with this camel. And coached him, taught him, mentored him, and he just said, I got this. And now he's out there delivering gifts like nobody's business. Now, this one's a funny one. A lot of you don't know about this guy. His name is Wayne Carman. No, I don't even know what the heck his name is. In fact, I call him Christmas Crow. I can't say all that stuff. But he's actually kind of spooky in a way. And he's in the Western Australia. So I got a Christmas Crow. That's what I got. Christmas Crows delivering gifts. So you got to recruit a team. Let me talk to you about this one I got in Spain, right? I call them the 3 Kings. Okay, these guys in Spain, they give out, guess what? Gifts. So what the kids have to do in order to give the gifts, they put their shoes outside and they put some straw out. And what'll happen is these guys are driving around these camels, or camels will pull up to the house with straw and drop off gifts. These guys got a big heart. Care about these guys a lot. Now in Iceland, I got the Yule lads. The Yule lads is a group of 13 mischievous trolls. See, they're mischievous little trolls, and they visit children one by one for 13 straight days leading up to Christmas, giving small little gifts. I love what these guys do. These guys have got a big heart. Sometimes you got to look for some mischievous trolls to be successful. Ho, ho, ho. Now in Italy, look at this. Nobody believed in Befana, but guess what? Who did? This guy did. Santa said, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. And I said, this witch, she looks pretty sweet. Some people judge her and they say she's a witch. You shouldn't be talking to her. Well, she got a good heart. But I'm going to tell you guys about another witch that she's always in compliance issues, right? She's always having compliance issues up at the North Pole. And her name is Valpertia. Okay. She's actually she's a wild one. She's up in the Alpine regions of Austria and Bavaria, and she brings gifts. But guess what? If they're bad, she'll come punish the damn kids. She's wild. Valpertia, she's got compliance issues like never before. She's always getting in trouble with compliance. You can't be hurting these dang kids. If they don't do good, just don't give them no gifts. She's out there. She's a little bit wild, right? But I'm just letting you know that it's a relay race. You got to develop some team. You got to find some people like you that have a big heart, that care about people, that want to give gifts if you want to be successful. And that's what I know we all want to do. Now, you got to close your mind against negative and discouraging people. That's what Santa does. Oh, I do that real good. Here's what I'll tell you. I love David Brinkley, man. Before, back when he was around, he's a low boy. He was always on the good list. But he said a successful person is someone that can lay a foundation, a firm foundation, with the bricks that others have thrown at them. Wow. A successful person is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks that others have thrown at them. That's powerful. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's people out there, 14% of the people in the United States did not believe in me as a child. Can you believe that? They didn't believe in me. They didn't believe in me. You're going to have people that are, 14% is not bad, actually. Tell you what, sometimes you get started in a business and there's 14%, more than 14% of the people that don't believe in you. They don't believe that you've got what it takes. But I'm telling you what, doesn't stop me. What do? Jump on my sleigh, get my 9 wild reindeer, and we go out there and we just start delivering gifts, man. We just do it. So sometimes, you just got to do it. Now, 6, stay the course upon your dreams, right? You got to stay the course and never give up on your dreams. I like what Winston Churchill said, never, never, never give up. I mean, let's just keep it simple, right? And here's what happened in Massachusetts. Okay, they got some sense talked into them. It took us a little bit of time over there. But there was a law from 1659 to 1689 that made it illegal to celebrate Christmas. You couldn't even celebrate Christmas. And that law was punishable by 5 shillings, okay? 5 shillings. You couldn't give people gifts. You couldn't do all that stuff. You couldn't greet people, wear nice clothes. I mean, it was wild. So I tell you this because I made it happen no matter what. There's going to be times where you run into challenges and people are negative and you got to keep on keeping on. Look at me today, Santa Claus. Been doing this since 200 whatever AD. I mean, I've been at it for a while. And guess what? There was times where I went into some challenges, but I just kept on keeping on, putting one foot in front of the other. And that's how you got to do it with what you're building over here at RIMAN. Now, the last one is stay the course and never give up on your dreams, right? We know about that. Without a sense of urgency, desire loses value. Without a sense of urgency, desire loses its value. Okay, I have to travel. Listen to what I got to do. This is wrong. I have to travel roughly 317 miles on Christmas. Wow. So on Christmas Eve, look at that, 317 million miles. And I got to travel at 1,800 miles per second Woo! Man, that's nice. For 31 hours, because I use those time changes, and without stopping to deliver 156 million destinations. Now, obviously, you guys all know I got some help. But imagine that. Think about what that means. What that means is you've got to take massive action. You got to give it everything that you got. You got to go all out massive action. You got to talk to people. You guys are in the word of mouth advertising business. All your advertisements paid for because your mouth is paid for. All you got to do is start flapping your lips. I got to make what, 4 million presents every day? All you guys got to do is stay the course. Keep on talking to people. Keep on putting one foot in front of the other. Ho, 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 and you're going to become successful. So let's talk about a call to action. You guys got this amazing bonus that Chris Kim was talking about, that leadership search promotion. You want to be sneaking everybody in right now in the month of December. Yo, ho, ho, more than ever before. What a present. Give somebody an opportunity to be able to cash in extra $25,000. You guys want to get qualified for Costa Rica. That's a no-brainer. You got till the end of January to do that if you're building out North America. Now, you want to create a senior manager this week. I always tell people one senior manager a week is what you want to do, okay? Minimum. New senior manager every week. How can I create a senior manager this week? How can I create a senior manager this week? How can I create a senior manager this week? Everybody wants to create senior managers. And you want to promote that Monday overview. I think that Chris Kim and Tim Herr are going to be doing one online and one in person. And they're going to be doing that event for you to be able to build your business. And both those guys are on the good list. Okay. And they're going to be sharing with your prospects the business so we can help them earn that $25,000 bonuses. And then you want to make sure no matter what, you're at that Long Beach convention.